Hey, you guys are there again. I don't know why you keep coming back. Uh, I'm your host, Jimi Photon. Welcome to yet another episode of Stupid Pedal Tricks. Today's attractive little device is something I whipped up for a friend. Uh, he's a touring guitar player. Needed something small that you could just like stash in like a suitcase or something so you could have something to practice with when he's cruising around doing all them things. So, anyways, I put pencil to paper and came up with a real simple little circuit based on Runoff Groove's Ruby amp. Added a FAL, whatever, treble booster. I did a stupid pedal trick about that like last year or something. And anyways, cobbled it together with the help of Rutabaga Bob, Shem Powered Rocks, PD Two Finger. I'm not saying his real name, even though I know it. Gus Smalley, and of course my brother Dino Sipsis. Uh, but anyways, when all said and done, I had found a Fender Lunchbox at a pawn shop for like, well, they had it tagged at 18 bucks, and they gave it to me for 10. And it looks cool because it looks like a little mini tweed amp. So what we did was decided to put a real amp in there. Well, as real as a 1 watt amp can be. I'll show you the stuff on the back and stuff first. Got power in here, so you can run on either 9 volt wall wart up to 12 volt wall wart's fine. Center negative, or battery. Over here is an extension speaker jack. You can actually drive a 412 to a halfway decent volume with this thing, which is just amazing. Uh, Carved out the front and stuck a little speaker in there. To make the baffle work better, I put cardboard in there to just like deaden out the nasty vibrato stuff. You can see the speaker inside. And then the obligatory gut shot. Schematics tucked inside there, so over here, in case it ever needs servicing. Yeah, I know it looks like a rat's nest, but unlike a guitar pedal with guitar amps, it's like wherever you get the least amount of noise, that's where you want the goddamn wires to be. Okay, so anyways, that's the inside. It's kind of covered up with black electrical tape, and then that's velcroed to the back of the cabinet. There's a little battery holder down the bottom in there. You'll see a couple of jacks, a bunch of knobs and switches and crap up at the top. Gonna close it up. Latch the little latch. You might also notice on the side there's a couple wires sticking out of it. That's because it's got a real basic, simple effects loop. I've already put the schematic up on doityourselfstompboxes.com and freestompboxes.org. Looking at the top of the thing here, you have a whole bunch of knobs. Originally, I'd hoped to just put them where like the original knobs were on this thing with chicken heads, but that didn't really work out. You got the input here. Of course, you plug in your trusty guitar cord, and the power turns on just like a stomp box. I've learned to use huge current limiting resistors. This one's a 56K, which is pretty big considering you really only need probably like a couple hundred ohms. All right. Looking at the thing from here on over, this is a clipper switch. It turns on a germanium asymmetrical diode clipper that's wired almost as like gives a little more compression, a little bit more sparkle on the clean sounds, more filth when it's dirty. This amp has 3 main voices to it. You can overdrive it, but it really sounds best if you put a pedal in front of it. It's more in the Fender school than anything else. Of course, I only had like a week to go and work it up, so it is what it is. Um, Going from left to right here, well, my left to right, whatever the hell it is, you have a little switch up top here. Okay, and That switch gives you either one voice, standby, because it's an center off switch, or the cleaner voice. Okay. This one selects treble boost. Right now it's set on mid-range boost. This is only when it's this way here is just the straight amp with the effects loop. Going this way here engages the treble booster. This was excuse me. This way here's the treble boost. I mean upper mid boost. That way's the treble boost. Goddamn frog in my throat. Ooh. And so anyways, that's all kind of meaningless until you start messing with the knobs. You have the volume knob for the Ruby amp right here, and then the gain knob. The gain knob, it's actually kind of backwards from how you'd expect. The volume knob works as the send level for the effects loop, and it also comes after the JFET buffer that's at the beginning of the Ruby. Okay, so this is volume. It turns the signal up and down after the buffer and controls the level going to the effect send. Next you got gain, and what that does is it controls the gain of the LM386N chip that is the power amp. You want to use an N instead of an L or an M. It's louder. Loud is good. Okay, and what this is it's wired between pin 1 and 8, so you can vary the gain from the preset 20 to whatever it is that you set it at. The stock, you have the input and wiper tied together. I didn't like that. It didn't seem to offer enough control, and it was just too dirty for this thing. So I wired it just input goes to the wiper, output comes out the bottom. Much easier, simpler that way. And less distortion, but more headroom, which is what I was kind of looking for. Next up, you have the Big Muff tone control. Classic, found in millions of things. I wired it backwards, where if you look on a schematic, it says input and output are reversed. To my ear, it just sounded better that way, so that's what I went with. Next up over here, you have what I call the harmonics control, which is the pre for the treble booster, and then you have the post for the treble booster. Okay, and depending on how you set the knobs, you get like different kinds of tones out of it. Let's see if I can get everything into this at once without doing something too bad. Yeah, there we go. Right now, I'm going to start it off with the basic voice of the amp. Give it a little treble. Bridge pickup. I'm going to turn the volume up. Turn the tone control down a little bit. Give it some diode clipping, which may or may not help. Just gives it a little bit more spang. Turn it back off. We'll turn the gain up, which will probably mean I'll have to turn the volume down. That's the gain cranks. Gets a little woofy. opens up. It's capable of, like, you know, a decent amount of distortion. Some of that's comb cry, because the speaker's getting, you know, it's a 4 or 5 watt speaker, but it's getting pummeled pretty good. So we're going to turn it on standby for a sec. Uh-oh, sound goes away. Turn it to the treble boosted side. This is where we get the cleaner sounds. I'm going to turn the send and the boost level down a little bit. It's on the mid-range boost. It's not a big mid-range boost, it's just in the upper mids a little bit. I'm going to give it a clipper, make it sparkle a little bit. Let's turn up the send. Little upper octave. Crank it up. Turn the guitar down, gets nice and clean and sparkly. So at the same setting here, and if you want really clean, then you put it on the treble boost. It sounds really nice when you use the effects loop. Maybe throw a little chorus on. I'll make it a little cleaner. A little less sparkle. Turn the tone down a little. Turn off the treble boost and get some. Sounds like an amp, pretty much. Again, it's got the chorus on a little bit. Give a little echo in the loop. My memory toy. Put the chorus on too. quite a few sounds you can actually get out of it. I'm gonna plug in my very first fuzz. Ooh, the first fuzz I ever built. I'm gonna unplug the power from the amp, plug it in here. Notice the amp still works, which is a good sign. The battery's not dead yet. Plug in the fuzz so you can hear what it sounds like with a little fuzzy goodness. I'll turn the fuzz down about halfway. A little less echo. More fuzz. The chorus. Not bad. Sounds like a fuzz. Let's try one of these instead. I'm going to plug it into a bone stock Boss turbo distortion. Which I think will probably be a better match. Turn the clipping off. Little chorus. Turn the treble booster back on for a sec. Different animal. clipper on. Turn the guitar down a little bit. And finally, we'll put it back on the stock setting, which is with the diode clipping off, because with it on, I'm overdriving the further too much. Get a little octave down. Turn the fuzz box off. And this is the clean, maxed it. So you got clean, a little bit of grunts, and then just that, whatever the hell it is. Well, anyways, this has been going on long enough. I'm Pink Jimi Photon. This is another episode of Stupid Pedal Tricks. Today, the Fender Lunchbox. The Lunchbox full of blues. Anyways, I'm sure I'll still be tweaking on this before it gets delivered to my friend on Saturday. That should give you an idea, like some of the crap you can get out of it. I do like it with the distortion pedal in it. I wanted to make it like more of an overdrive built into the amp, but it was just with what it was I set out to work with, there just wasn't really. Down the road, I might redo this, but like with a much more complicated kind of thing. This is just basically just, just something you can play with. It's good, not as much distortion, but that's what God invented stomp boxes for. So, anyways, thank you, whoever invented stomp boxes. Anyways, again, Pink Jimmy Photon. Peace out. Where the hell's the thing? And, okay, where's the off button?